Hello and welcome to this video. If you're new here, my name is Marta and today I will be testing out Huda Beauty for the first time. I did order the Sapphire Obsessions palette. I also have the Orange Obsessions, but it's in my apartment quite far away from where I am now, as well as the Emerald one, I think, the green one. And that's also in my apartment in Trondheim, or at least in the mail. So today I will be testing out the Sapphire Obsessions, which is, as you can see, the blue palette. And I do think it looks really stunning. It has a lot of beautiful blue shadows and it has these beautiful silver ones, and yeah, I'm just really excited to be trying it out. And if you are not new here to my channel, then you can probably see that I did dye my hair. So now it's really like carrot orange, but I think that it fits my skin tone quite well, so I'm really happy about that. So I think it will be cool to have some blue eyeshadow to match my new hair color. So I think I will just go ahead and swatch the palette for you guys, and then I'll move on to a eyeshadow look, a first impression with the palette. So these are all of the swatches on my arm, and the mattes are quite impressive to me. I feel like all of the mattes swatched very well. This more periwinkle blue that I have here, I had to go in with twice, but it built up really nicely and it doesn't look any patchy or anything. This one has a tiny bit of patchiness in the swatch, but I'm not sure if that's actually going to be the case when you put it on the eye. This one was like, I feel like this one and this shimmer shade, they were very like almost silky feeling to the touch when I was touching them, and I had to build them up. The silver one is super sparkly and I do feel like that's a very nice shade, and I'm just not sure about this one. It looks very like satiny and it's not really the type of shimmer shade that I go for. And the last blue shimmer looks really pretty as well. It looks like a sea blue shimmer shade. So yeah, I'm really excited to try these out. I am not completely decided yet how I want my look to be, but I believe that I want to go in with the darkest blue first in my outer corner of the crease, and then blend it out with this more periwinkle blue maybe, or this blue. I'm not completely sure. And I want to maybe use this blue and this silver on the crease, with this one on the lid, with this one on the outside corner of the lid and this one on the inner corner of the lid. And maybe I'll try this one as an inner corner highlight, because I do really think that a pop of color is beautiful for the inner corner. But we'll just wait and see what comes out of this look. So I will just start with this shade, and I'm using my Kaleidos Makeup S3 brush as usual. As usual, I'm also using just my Makeup Revolution concealer as a base for my eyeshadow. And since this is a blue, very pigmented shadow, I picked up quite a lot. I'm just tilting my head to the side so I won't have that much fallout, and then I will be gently pressing it down. And I'm barely lifting the brush because I want to like pick up the fallout that would have come out, and then just press it back in again. So the shadow is very, very pigmented. I'm just dragging the shadow also down on my lid, just to have like a base for the shimmer shadows as well, in case they're not super opaque, but I do think that at least the dark blue one is. Now I'm just making sure that I have the blue shadow high enough that I will actually see it. I'm just gently buffing out the edges so that when I put on the next shadow, that they will blend a little bit better, because I always just put the next shadow on top of the other one, just above the edge. So I think I will go into this lighter blue here, the periwinkle one. Now we'll just blend that out in the outer corner of the crease, and then I might just use this one for the inner corner of the crease right here, so that we have a better transition to this lighter green shade. And I don't want to drag this shade too far up, so I'm just making sure that I'm placing it where the darkest part of that first shade is, and then gently blending it out. This blue looks a lot more bright than the first one that we put down, but they do look almost like they are the same amount of, like they have the same amount of depth to them. And I will be going in with some setting powder above here, just so I don't place the shadows on the wet base too far up. I will just go ahead and use this one a little bit. Do the exact same thing right here. Wow, these shadows are so pigmented. I didn't really pick up that much on my brush, and still it's very impactful. Honestly, these blend out so pretty. I'll just go ahead and take a clean brush and use some setting powder here. Now I'm just going back in with the brush. I haven't really added anything more to the brush right now. I'm just using what's left over from the first time I dipped in. So you can see that it really had a lot of pigment in it. And I'm barely touching the skin. I'm just buffing the edges very easily. Now I'm just dipping in a tiny bit in this other blue shadow, just to make sure I'm not dragging this one too far here. But I think that would have been very pretty too. I just cleaned my brush in my color switch, and now I'm just buffing the edges here. I don't know, I feel like it's looking a little bit darker here on the edge, so I'm trying to drag the shadow out a little bit. It does actually have a very dark line here, it's really weird. I didn't even see it coming. I'll just try to go over with I'm just going over with the same brush that I used to put the setting powder in, and I did apply a little bit more setting powder, and I'm just trying to blend that dark line away a little bit. And this was going so well. It's not exactly what I wanted, but I guess I will just... I don't really have a choice, so I'm just going to let it stay like that. I'm just going to do my other eye with all the mattes, and then I will go in with some shimmers and do my lower lash line. I think I want to go in with this darkest blue on the outside corner of my lid. Then I want to use this blue. This is the more aqua blue one, and then I want to use the silver one I believe, but I will just see. I will start with these two and then I'll see if I'll take the gray one or not, because I feel like it might be more fitting to just use these two since I want this one in my inner corner. But maybe I can top it off with this one, we'll see. But I feel like all of these three, they have a little bit of purple in them, which I think is very interesting. And the silver is so beautiful. If I'm not using it today, I will definitely be using that next time I'm using this palette. So I'm just picking up some of the darkest one here. It's relatively hard in the pan, but I have gotten some product here. I think I want to spray my brush though, so I will just use my MAC Fix Plus right here. And I will just be adding this one to the outer corner. So I really enjoy how the shimmer shadows are looking. I think it looks very sparkly, and they definitely performed better with the setting spray, because when I tried to pick up this lighter blue one without setting spray, it did not really adhere very well to my lid, but with the setting spray I think it's really beautiful and I do like how they're looking. I'm just not happy with the matte shadow that I have here, because I can totally see a line, but I don't really feel like I see that much right here. So I think it might just be that the shadows are so pigmented, and when I apply too much and try to blend with more product, then it gets like this, but I'm not really sure. But at least I'm taking this lime green or chartreuse, I don't even know how to describe it, it's almost a yellow, so I'm just picking it up. And oh, I think I actually want to use a white liner for this, so just one moment. I do have the core crayons from Hallberg, so I think I want to try this one. I haven't used it yet. It's called Light Core and it's basically like a pastel-y yellow shade, and I think that would be a great base for the lime green shadow. I think a white one would do the same thing, but I'm just going to take this one right now. And now I'm just taking that product that I just picked up and I'm just tapping over. Ooh. I don't know if you can see just how bright that is. It's really beautiful. I'm not really blending it into the blue, I'm just tapping it. Oh, but maybe I should have blended out the pencil, because now I feel like I can see a line where the pencil was. Oh my god, this is not my day. Okay, now it looks better. I'll just hurry up and do the other eye as well, because the pencils, they dry quite fast. So I think it's best to add the product while it's still a little bit tacky. Since I really want to try the silver, I just took a little bit on my brush and I'm just applying it almost in the inner corner here. Just dragging it a little bit upwards. And it looks like it's a beautiful silver shadow. Just blend it a little bit more up so we can see it a bit more. It has a lot of like purpley specks in it. I don't know if you are able to see it. But it's so stunning. I really like this shimmer formula. It's so sparkly. I think that added like a nice little touch, a little highlight. So now the only thing that's missing for my look is my lower lash line, and believe it or not, but I do feel like I have a lot going on now because I also put on some lipstick. That said, it's not really lipstick, I just used a little bit of my Colourpop lip liner in the shade Click. And I also blended it out with a lip liner that I have from Mekka. It's a Norwegian brand and it doesn't really have a name, it's number 4, so it's a nudish toned. And then I used the shade Dumpling by Colourpop. So the shade Dumpling, it looks like this on its own. It doesn't have anything written on it because I accidentally washed it in the washing machine. But at least those are the things I have on my lips. So I'm thinking I'll do something a little bit more simple. This is the other lip liner, by the way. So I think I will just go in with the lightest blue shadow, this one right here, and I will just blend that a little bit down the lash line. I don't want too much, as I just said, so I'm just tucking it in right here. And I think I will be not trying to blow out the outer corner here, but I do want a little bit of a wing, so I'm just going to tuck it right by the darkest blue here. Nothing more than this is actually needed because it does blend out so easily. There you see I accidentally popped it a bit too low. I will just see if I'm able to brush a little bit of that away. So it's not going to be perfect, but then again, when does it ever become perfect? So since I already put a lot of powder underneath here, it doesn't stick as well to the skin, but as I said, I don't want it to be too much, so I think this is actually more than enough for me. So I will just put on some white liner in my waterline. I will just be using the shade White Core by Hallberg from the Core Kit, and then I'll use some mascara on the lower lash line, and I will do a close-up of the whole look. This is my finished look using my Huda Beauty palette, and I really do like it. The shimmers are so good. The mattes blended really easily and are super pigmented. And I only had a little bit of problem with the lighter blue making like a line, but I think that was me putting on too much of the eyeshadow. But I'm not sure what caused it, honestly, but I did end up liking the finished look. I did end up also using my Looxi Beauty highlighter. I used the shade Wicked here, and I used the shade Luna here just because I wanted to like compare them, because I'm going to make a video with all my Looxi Beauty highlighters, so I just wanted to use one on each side so you don't really see the difference that much, so I thought it would be okay. So yeah, that is my finished look, and I did actually end up looking through my Colourpop shadows to see if I could find some, not really dupes, but like similar shades. So I do have some comparisons here. So all of the, for me, okay, so I get so confused about left and right, but this, on this side it's Colourpop, and on this side it's Huda Beauty. And that goes for all of these, except from here where I have the Huda Beauty one in the middle. Then I have Looxi Beauty right here and the Vina here. All of the others are Colourpop versus Huda Beauty. So this shade here is called Keep Scrolling by Colourpop. It looks a little bit more pigmented to begin with, but as you can see, the Huda Beauty one actually also ended up to be very pigmented when building it up. Then we have here it's Colourpop Formation versus the one that is more aqua blue, the lightest blue in the palette. Formation is a bit deeper, as you can see. Also looks a little bit more pigmented, but the Huda Beauty one do build up. Then we have here, it's the shade Gridlock. It's one of their newer singles. It's a little bit darker. And then it's the lighter blue that I used on my eye. I think, yeah, it's the one I used on my eye. So that's them compared. I don't think you would have seen too much a difference, but the lighter blue in the Huda Beauty one has some purple sparkles throughout it. Then here it's Looxi Beauty Complicated. It's one of their newer mattes, and it's a little bit more purple than the Huda Beauty one. And the same goes for the shade Navel here, that is by Divina Cosmetics. They look a little bit more purple. And then it's the middle shade in the Huda Beauty palette right here. It's a little bit more sparkly. This is Colourpop in Antimatter. It's also a gorgeous shade. I'll see if I can focus. I have to like twist my hand a little bit. Yeah, can't do better than this. Sorry. But as you can see, it's a little bit more sparkly, the one from Divina, but they're almost identical. And then why did I do this without doing it on camera? Then it's the silver one from Huda Beauty. This is a lot more sparkly. I don't really think you can see it right here, but it does have some, I think it's both, I don't know, it has a lot of different colors running throughout it. Then it's on a Whimsy by Colourpop, which is more of a very, very shiny metallic silver shade. So I do feel like the Huda Beauty ones are relatively unique, especially since the shimmers are so good and it's not that of an expensive palette, so I do think it's worth it and I do not regret buying it. That said, I do not have any of my Colored Rain single shadows here. I don't have Makeup Geek, Give Me Glow Cosmetics. I only have my Looxi Beauty, Colourpop and Divina shadows, so that's the one I could compare them to. But yeah, at least you have seen here a couple of them. If you're just interested in these shades, then you have some alternatives. But yeah, as you can see, they're not that similar. But I just thought that would be nice to add into this video, to just go through the single shadows that I have right here very fast to see if I have something similar. And yeah, I hope you liked that and that you liked this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. Bye!